Hi, welcome to Hope in the Light of Suicide. I'm Tammy White. I'm your host and founder of the Bobby White Foundation. Thank you for joining us this evening. Got a lot to go through. It's been kind of a crazy week, but some good, a lot of stuff going on, but we'll get into that. Let's do our business stuff first because it's so important, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to be here. I want to thank John Gaston with Area 52 Media Group, our producer, and Joseph, my technical guy behind the scenes, who helps me get through all this every episode. If you want to do your own show, please contact them. You can do a show of any kind you want, really. And once you get into it, it's really kind of fun. Our show is a difficult show. But thanks to them, it makes it easier, and it's worthwhile because I have the support. I have their support so much. So, yeah, John with Area 52 Media Group, and also our sponsors, Dylan Gaston with the mortgage firm, Anything Mortgages. Boy, I noticed a lot of homes in our neighborhood up for sale, and that's kind of unusual. So I don't know what's going on out there, but Anything Mortgages, a home is your biggest purchase of your life, and you really want someone to help you walk you through and know what they're doing. And she's your gal, and she's so empathetic and compassionate and just a lovely person. So, and then Tammy White Galleries and Custom Framing. Guess what? That's me. Yeah, the gallery supports it's all good. So school starts in our area this week. School starts in all the counties, so that means we're getting close to the end of summer, but we still have our support groups. Our next one is going to be Newport Richey, I believe, is the next one. Where are we at today? Yeah, Newport Richey, which will be on August. Am I in August? Yeah, that is August. August 20th at the Oasis Coffee Spot, 6:30. You don't need to register to go. You can just show up, because I've made it this way because I know that sometimes it can be very, very difficult. You might think that, I really need to go, which if you're a support group type person, yeah, you do. It's not, a support group isn't for everyone, but having the support of peers that understand what you're going through, because people that haven't had a suicide death close to them, for most people, it's really hard for them to understand. So having a peer group that everybody there, including the facilitator, understands your journey, because they're all going through it too. They might be further down the line than you are, or they might not. We've had people that were 2 weeks out, and we've had people that are 20 years out. But it's good support. Our groups are awesome. So this is like a super busy time of the year. We're gearing up for Art for Hope. It's less than a month away now. I can't believe it. So this is one of the other pieces of art that I told you we were going to show some works that are available. And this one actually, this is from an artist that we represented for many, many years. And I just love this man dearly. His name is Neil Adamson. He was a Florida watercolor artist. He has artwork in the U.S. embassies, and one in South Africa. I think he's got 2 or 3 pieces there. We have a collection of his artwork that is available for viewing and for sale at the Hilton Garden Inn, in their lobby areas, and then there's an area in the bar area where the TV is. We have several pieces of his on display there. Unfortunately, we lost Neil in 2022. A super great guy. He's from St. Pete, Florida. He was actually a retired firefighter. Just an awesome man. He's won probably every watercolor award nationally and internationally that there is. So his work is really great, especially if you love Florida art. He does have a few pieces that aren't Florida art, but not very many. Mostly that's what his work consisted of. And I want to thank one of our new sponsors for Art for Hope, the law offices of Phillips and Raymakers, for being our Da Vinci sponsor. Sponsorships are still available. So, and see what you get. You get to be on our show. And on all our social media. So, yeah, sponsor. We really want to thank them for their support, and they appreciate what we do in our community. We've been collecting stuff for our gift baskets, which we raffle off, and they're always phenomenal. I don't have anything set up yet because we're putting stuff together, but I did want to thank the Richie Suncoast Theater for donating 4 tickets to a show. I think it's in November. Tickets are still in my truck, so I can't remember what show it is. But what we're going to do is we're going to put those tickets together in a basket, and I'm actually going to go downtown during the week and see if I can hit up some of our local bar restaurants to see if they want to donate maybe a dinner package so that we could put all this together in a basket and maybe have 2 raffle baskets, a pair of tickets, and a pair of dinners, 2 times 2. I think that would be really cool. So, yeah, we're putting together some really cool stuff for our basket raffle. It's going to be here before we know it. And it always does. But we have an awesome speaker. I'm so excited about it. Our keynote speaker is Eloy Nunez and his son Eddie. I've heard Eddie is a little bit nervous about speaking, but I know he's going to do really awesome. He's written a book about his struggles, and Eloy is a super great guy. He's a fellow Rotarian. He's actually one of our past district governors. He's a retired Miami-Dade police officer. And they're going to share the family part of the dynamics of mental health and mental wellness. And I'm so excited to have them as our keynote speaker. He's excited. It's gonna be a really great evening. It's not a sad evening. It's an evening of education and hope and community, and understanding. And you get the opportunity to buy some awesome art, and we have light hors d'oeuvres, cash bar, which isn't really a cash bar because I don't take cash anymore. So bring your credit card. But it's just a wonderful evening. It's our 9th annual, and it falls on International Suicide Prevention Day. It's the first time in 9 years, so it's gonna be great. So, anyways, as crazy and as much as we have to do to get ready for it, especially in this last month crush, we're all my volunteers are just totally amazing on helping pull this together, and we look forward to that evening. Speaking of sort of fellow Rotarian, I had the opportunity last week to speak to the Brooksville Rotary Club. And I had mentioned before, I had started just barely a year ago, our mental health initiative action group. Yeah, mental health initiatives action group for our Rotary District 6950, which encompasses 4 counties along the Nature Coast, West Coast: Citrus County, Hernando County, Pasco County, and Pinellas County. And we have a couple campaigns that we have going on, but one of them that I had mentioned, because I did speak at our district conference a couple months ago, was a program called Looking Inward. And it's a presentation for Rotary clubs. And it was the first one I gave on this Looking Inward program. And it went really great. It was awesome. But the most awesome part was what happened after my presentation. And I mean, totally unexpected, totally unscripted. It was the conversation afterward that opened up was just amazing. People opening up about their mental health of family members, of situations happening or have happened, sharing different experiences and really listening to each other. It was, I'm not kidding. It was phenomenal. And that's how we break the stigma, is by open conversation. Even if it's just one conversation at a time. It was just so amazing. I'll be giving the presentation again, I don't know, in another week or so at my home club. But this is also one of our other programs. There's like 3 of them that we have going on. And I had showed you before, last year we did one, and it was called Don't Bottle It Up. And this one is How Are You Really? And we have at the district conference, my favorite photographer, Denise Allen from Adore Photography, she came down and she did the portraits for people from our club. And they either got to do both Don't Bottle It Up, which the other one has a bottle, you're holding a bottle, or this one here, or one or the other. We let them do whatever they wanted. And I just got done sending these out to all the Rotarians who participated in it. We had like 45 Rotarians participate. There were, I don't know, like 75 images. I just got all of them completely out to everybody so they can use them however they want in their discussions, on their social media. It's about talking and opening the conversation. So I'll be doing these Rotary presentations a little more often. We're going to be scheduling a little bit more. I think I have one in September also. I'm going to be speaking in, I think, in Dade City. So, like I said, it was really kind of, I don't know, it was a really great feeling that, yeah, the presentations are good and the presentations are important, but it's what happens afterwards. People opening up and speaking and not being afraid to speak. At one point, and I do this quite often when I do speak somewhere, I'll ask the participants if only if they're comfortable, if they have been touched by suicide, if they would raise their hand. And I did this at this club luncheon, and you know what? Almost every single person in the room raised their hand. There was only, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 who didn't. But nobody would know. But doing that and then having the open conversation, when I left there, that's what makes what I do so worthwhile. It's like that conversation that opened up. It just, I was in awe of every single person in that room. It was great. It really was. I mean, it was just amazing. Yeah. So, as hard as this is, even this, as hard as it is for me to do this, or for me to go out and talk to groups of people and present, whether it be a small group or a larger group, it's what happens afterwards that makes it worthwhile. I mean, even when I spoke at the district conference, the people who came up to me afterwards, who felt comfortable enough to share with me their experience. And a lot of times people, they don't talk about it, or they haven't talked about it in years. But for them to feel comfortable enough to share, and also to know that they're not alone, it was amazing. It was amazing. So I'll continue to do it. So, anyways, we're gonna finish up our conversation from last week, because I talked so much about something else. We didn't get to finish up what I wanted to talk about, and it's about your work, and when you're going through trauma like this. And it was titled, actually, after a chapter in the book, "Work That Is Love Made Visible." And a lot of people, and I don't know how they do it. My mom was one. She did love her work. She loved the people that her customers. But a lot of people just go to work and get a paycheck. Um, I've never been that way. For me, it wasn't always about the money. I needed to like what I do, and I have spoke before. My mom used to say, and even once in a while, Bobby would get upset if we were going through really hard times, like especially if it was his job that was affected. Why don't you get a real job? Well, I had a real job. I had a art and custom framing business. Granted, yeah, it's not one of the easiest businesses to be in. Being an artist is not one of the easiest businesses to be in. It's not always what do you say? Stable, I guess. But when you're going through a trauma, sometimes it's just really hard. And work really just, at least for me, it's not just a job. It's how we care for our families. It's how we serve others. We create. We listen. That's how we show up in the world. And in his book, this is the book. That's the book. Arthur Brooks says, one thing to ask is not, what do I do? And that's what, and it's really kind of funny, because when I say that, when I go out to and these networking groups that I've been doing for a million years, that's what people say. What do you do? What do you do? So in this scenario, especially after going through extreme trauma, it's not the question of what do I do. And I've thought about that, even in the last 10 years. But change the question of who am I becoming? And that's a question that can be extremely painful after a profound loss. Grief changes who we are. It makes us feel like we've lost someone else. I mean, we already lost someone that we love, but what about ourselves? I know I felt that. Oh, tremendously. I love what I what I do. What I do. Framing, and I've been doing this, the majority of my life since consistently, probably since I was 21, 22, 20, 22, 21. Anyways, but I love it. I loved it before losing Bobby, but after losing Bobby, things changed. And it's not something that I expected or anticipated. Because after losing him, I lost more than, the love of my life, my partner. I lost my sense of self. And I lost the passion for custom framing. And, that was just a big part of me and my life. My confidence disappeared. For a long time, I really didn't know who I was, if I was going to be able to continue to do what I love to do. I still did it. I didn't do it as much as I had in the past. I did enough to keep going. But during this healing journey, which it's continued, and it's going to be a continuation probably for the rest of my life. I hope not, as it eases up a little bit as more time goes on. But through the healing that I have gone through so far, what I have learned is we're not going to return to the person that we were before. I am not the same person I was before losing Bobby to suicide, and I will never be that person. But we can become someone who carries the love forward in a new way. Today, for me, my meaning is, again, preserving memories for other families through my framing business. And now, with the Bobby White Foundation, helping others after a suicide loss. Neither of these remove my grief, but yet both of them, I can still express my love. The love for Bobby, our life before, and my life going forward. That, to me, is what love made visible means. I want to see if I can get through this, and I have to write it down because otherwise I won't get through it. So, as we close tonight, I want to leave you with a final thought. When Arthur Brooks write about career goals, paths, addiction, and identity, which is all in this chapter, I want to invite you to ask the deeper question: who am I becoming? Loss changes us. There's no going back to the person we were before grief entered our lives. And probably one of the hardest truths is to accept that. For a long time, I believed that because I lost my passion and I had somehow lost myself forever. But healing has taught me something different. Our purpose doesn't disappear when tragedies strike. Sometimes it just simply changes shape. Today, I still find joy in custom framing. I do love what I do, and my passion is returning, or has returned. Not totally, but it is returning. Every piece I preserve tells someone's story. Every family heirloom, every military uniform, every photograph, every child's artwork reminds me that our lives matter because our stories matter. And through the Bobby White Foundation, I've learned that sharing hope is also a form of love made visible. Hope isn't pretending everything is okay. Hope is choosing to believe that even after our hearts have been broken, they can still love, they can still serve, they can still make a difference. Gratitude has also become an important part of my healing journey, not because I'm grateful for Bobby's death, I never will be, but because I can be grateful for the love we shared, the lessons he taught me, and the people I've met because of his life. Gratitude doesn't erase our pain. It helps us see our lives still hold beauty alongside it. And compassion. Compassion is what happens when we've walked through our own darkness and choose to become a light for someone else. It's listening without judgment. It's checking in on a friend. It's offering kindness to someone whose smile may be hiding a broken heart. Every act of compassion says you're not alone. If you're still searching for your purpose after loss, please don't give up. It may not look the way it once did. It may be quieter. It may begin with something as simple as helping one person, creating something beautiful, volunteering, or showing up for your own healing. Purpose doesn't have to be grand, it has to be genuine. This week, I invite you to ask yourself, how can I make love visible? Maybe it's through your work. Maybe it's through your family. Maybe it's through your art. Maybe it's through your faith. Maybe it's through simply being present for someone who needs hope. Whatever it is, know that the world needs the gifts only you can give. Thank you for spending time with me. Until next week, be gentle with yourself, be grateful for the moments of light, lead with compassion, hold on to hope, and remember, even after profound loss, love can still be made visible. One act of kindness, one purpose-filled step, one hopeful heart at a time. Keep those numbers in your phone, memorize them, because you could be just that one person, because there is always hope. Thank you for joining us this evening.